Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Uh, my name is Asrizal Razali. My colleague here is Noranis Ismail. We are actually from the Design School, Faculty of Innovation and Technology, Taylor's University, Malaysia. And our other colleague, Nurzihan, is from the School of Media and Communication. So our topic here today is immersive intercultural experience for graphic communication studies through virtual reality. So how I'm going to present today is I'm going to go through all of this: introduction, problem statement, proposed research method, discussion, and conclusion. So a little bit of introduction. So in Malaysia, our higher learning education sector focus on four factors: globalization, teaching and learning, governance, and knowledge-based society. So, as we are all aware, ever since earlier this year, with the COVID pandemic and whatnot, so our country, Malaysia, has gone into a movement control order, which essentially is a lockdown, exactly on March 2020, with the attempt to break the chain of the virus. So on the spot, we have to reinvent our teaching and learning from inside the classroom into online and some other tools and technology that we use. So for both of us, we taught this module called intercultural design. So intercultural design is a module offered to year one student or Bachelor of Arts in Design of Creative Media. And this module is also offered as an elective for students from other schools. So, what is this module all about? Is this module provides students with the opportunity to understand the role of design and the designer in a wider cultural, political, and social context. So the aim is to introduce students to local and or global design and design issues through engagement with outside agencies, groups, or cultures, which may present opportunities for collaboration. So what we do every year is that we brought the student out for excursion or for a study trip usually across Asia. So we've been in some other countries in Europe as well. So we've been to Berlin, Hong Kong, London, and in the past few years, we went to Japan, specifically Tokyo and Osaka. So when the students go there, they engage with the culture. So they have to study the culture. They either collaborate with some students from the universities there, or anyone is in the industry, in the creative industry, and etc. So at the end of the module, at the end of the study, students produce a very range of artwork from installation, digital installation, animation, photography collection, among others. So we give them a theme, and then they produce some artwork in relation to the theme. So this was me and the students earlier this year, just before the. This is in Tokyo University of Technology. So we went there. We collaborate with the student there. We had a one-day program with the students and also the lecturers there. So the challenge now with the with the pandemic that is happening all around the world, that we are not able to take the student out for a study trip or for excursion anymore. So now we are trying to replicate the excursion, the study trip, by introducing some virtual reality tools in learning. So why do we choose virtual reality? So it is an alternative methods for collaborative and student-centered learning. So we were trying to explore and implement virtual reality in attempt to replicate the environment of foreign destination and eventually allow the student to interpret information from a secondary perspective in order to produce a graphic design based output. So some of the reason why some of the research that we've done. So for example, Lu 2017 mentioned that three-dimensional space presentation has made design feel real and lifelike. And then another research in 2019 indicated that The teaching and learning process in Institute of Higher Learning are constantly aided by latest technology with systems that provide support for the practice. Gerald 2016 described virtual reality as a user-centered technology that lends understanding towards the basis of communication. And then Gandhi and Patel summarized that any place in the world could be mimicked vividly with virtual reality combination of peripherals and software that enables users to immerse themselves into the action. So the keyword here that we are studying is immersive. So we're trying to replicate the first-hand experience by substitute the the actual trip with virtual reality. So why is this crucial in intercultural design? Because for this particular module that we taught, we are based on experiential learning. Because we believe in experiential learning. Experiential learning is crucial to the learner's progress, and it takes place when, number one, a person is involved in an activity, and number two, he or she looks back and evaluate the activity. Number three, they will then determine what was useful or important to remember. And number four, and use this information to perform another activity. So we have done some papers. We have published some papers in the past, and then we also use COP learning cycle method in this particular research. So why experiential learning? Because experiential learning as a direct encounter with the phenomena being studied rather than thinking or considering the possibility of doing something about it. When we do experiential learning, students hold much of the responsibility. That means we empower the student, we empower the learners to manage their own learning rather than a one-way direction where the lecturers or the teachers tell them what to do and when to do it. So through this process, then a new skill, new attitude, and new ways of thinking are developed, where it immerses learners in an experience, then encourage reflection of the experience. Often we get the student to reflect on the experience. So our problem statement in this case is the new normal. The new normal is we live in the world of a pandemic, so we cannot deliver this module this coming January 2021. So we need to explore alternative method for collaborative and student-centered learning via online virtual reality technology. So, but with this implementation of virtual reality technology comes another problem. The students are now, because we are conducting the class remotely via online, the students are now operate the virtual reality technology themselves with their own available devices, and the selection of the accessible virtual reality tools requires selection. We have some students, majority of our students come from Malaysia, but we also have international students that comes from Indonesia, from the Middle East, and so on. So some students might have limited access to virtual reality technology. So some of our proposed research method, so we will collect data upon the completion of the semester and we analyze it with Atlas TI. What is this study all about? We are trying to determine the immersive experience of virtual reality tools to gather information from a secondary perspective, as I've mentioned before. And the basis of the data collection will be based on the reflective practice of feeling, watching, thinking, and doing. This is based on COP Learning Style Index 2014 that put 4 stages of concrete experience: reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. So at the end of the semesters, in this coming January semesters, the student will provide a reflective report together with the artwork that they produce, and we're going to run that through Atlas TI. So this is a summary of COP Learning Style Index. As you can see, it's pretty much accurate for experiential learning. Most of experiential learning research is based on COP Learning Style Index. So there are 4 stages, which are feeling, watching, thinking, and doing. So we are trying to replace watching and concrete experience with virtual reality as compared to the actual trip, the study trip before. So obviously, the class excursion proved to be the greater advantage to experience a foreign environment with the current pandemic situation. It is almost impossible with the borders being closed to conduct one without the risk of contracting COVID-19. So we are trying to somewhat provide a being there alternative experience on site with the use of virtual reality, with hope that it would give the student a similar experience of the tour and learning in a foreign environment as reflected in their written reports and artworks produced after. So, we've gone through some of tools selection. So we limit the selection of virtual reality technology based on the students' capacity to operate the equipment by themselves, uh, which means that the tools and application must be easy and readily accessible. It is almost no cost at all, so cost free, and utilizes minimum technology requirements. It's not so complicated, it's not so technical, and provide ease of use. It's easy to use, and provide immerse experience with students already available device at home. So we are utilizing whatever devices that are already at home, whether they're computer, mobile phones, and so on. So one of the virtual reality technology selection that we use is Google Street View. I'm sure all of you are familiar with this, so Google Maps and so on. But some of the challenges that we have is some of the places might not have the latest image recording in Google Street View, even though some are quite updated. So I'm just going to skip the video. And another technology that we're proposing is by using Google Earth VR. So it allows user to visit any cities, any landmarks, any natural wonders with the use of VR equipment such as Oculus Rift and HTC Vive from their comfort of their home. So for students who have this kind of equipment, they can utilize Google Earth VR. So the technology is aimed to get the whole world within the reach using VR by relying on sensors that track users' position and gestures in actual space. Because the aim here is to replicate the experience, replicate the location, and to actively embody rather than a representation they examine from the outside. So instead of just viewing it from the outside, like what Google Street View offers, so Google Earth VR, on the other hand, make one feel like they are inside or they are there. So hold on, I'm just going to play this video. So another, the third one that we're proposing is the usage of YouTube VR videos. While if you look it up, YouTube VR videos, the content is actually quite vast. There's a lot of videos that's being uploaded, 360 degree videos. So it offers viewers experience in exploring a video in 360 degrees with their mouse or mobile devices. So you can view it with a head-mounted display like a Oculus or HTC and whatnot. And it gives you immersive experience of exploring the surrounding in all direction, interacting and experience the content instead of passively watching a video. So with the current pandemic, so many YouTube content creators are producing more and more VR walkabout videos. So if you look up in even in just a normal YouTube account, you'll be able to see a lot of walkabout videos. So this cater to the viewer's desire of exploring the outside world from this medium and giving them the feeling of being there. So if you look at this is one example. I'm just this is how VR devices, then you'll be able to fully immerse in the experience. So the conclusion is with the challenges of adapting online learning, technology advancement might provide respite in the easing of transition of class delivery. In our particular case with the module of intercultural design module. So by allowing students some level of sensory experience, VR may have the capacity to allow immersive experience in cultural studies. So some of the research I mentioned that immersion presence or telepresence refers to the strength of a user's sense of being there. So Tang 2010 argue that the quality of immersive experience may refer to the extent to which a user is satisfied with such a feeling. This means the immersive quality can be weak feeling of being there, while others may require more concrete experience rather than just second-hand observation in VR. So there is no guarantee that with our proposal of utilizing virtual reality technology might replicate the first-hand observation. So we are trying to the result from this research, then we're trying to compute it in a way that see whether how much VR can replace the actual experience. So for future research, it might be useful for anyone who's looking into replacing, if you have a study trip, if you have anything that is related to experiential learning and try to substitute it with the advancement of technology. So that will be the end of my presentation. We welcome anyone who want to collaborate with us, especially in the areas of experiential learning, or if you have any interest, we would like to invite you. If you have research interest in experiential learning, we would like to invite you to guest lecture in our module and so on. So we can be contacted through our email here. And thank you very much.